Welcome to AlphaCars and Ural motorcycles. Today we're going to look at one of the 25 limited edition bikes for year 2016. And this bike is amazing. It has under 200 miles, and yes, it's one of the 25 Ural Ambassador. Let's check it out. We are in our Boxborough location showroom, and here is this gorgeous bike. The first thing we're going to do is just walk around the bike and check it out. And then we'll get into fine and very exciting details about this machine. It is a one-owner machine that we sold here at Ural of New England. Here's the 75th anniversary badge, and confirming that this is the anniversary edition, 1941 to 2016. And the history of the Ambassador is that it speaks for the Ural motorcycle ability to survive in the variety of world's events for 75 years. It traveled through this time, and it always brought smiles to those on the bike and around the bike. You can always start a conversation even if you speak a different language if you're on a Ural motorcycle. So let's check this out. I remember when these bikes were announced, most of them were sold before they were probably made, and every single bike that hit the showroom floor would be sold within days. And as I said, there were only 25 of these bikes produced worldwide. This was the bike that had this bronze metallic color. It is one of the most beautiful colors you will see on a motor vehicle, certainly on the motorcycle. And there were some cool features that this bike had as standard equipment, and we're going to look at those. So we're going to start from some of the features were standard for the gear up, but some were specific to the Ambassador. So the Ambassador came standard with the plexiglass Givi windshield, Sidecar windshield. Came with a smoked glass, you can see that. And yes, it had the on-demand two-wheel drive because the Ambassador is based on the Ural gear up. It does have the spare tire, you can see right here, and the rack over the spare tire, which was, again, part of the gear up setup. The bronze color, as we discussed, is beautiful. And then it also came with the fuel can. And by the way, this bike also has the fuel can spout. It's a small little accessory that is in the trunk for you. Black powder coated drivetrain included the engine, transmission, and the final drive. Came with utility shovel. Here it is. The sidecar bumper. We'll talk about the driving lights in just a moment. And it has this box in the back with custom badging. It's a full metal box. And as you can see, it's in like brand new condition. It has the rubber gasket. All metal accessories. It also has a complete toolkit. We're going to check that out in just a moment. Enduro bench seat right here. Sidecar accessories panel. It has a power outlet panel in the sidecar. 10 sidecar cover, apron for the windshield, and the cover, and the shovel cover for that matter. All these are produced from Sunbrella tan material. There are also rubber floor mats. And as we already saw, 75th anniversary badging. So let's take a look at a couple of things inside the bike, inside the trunk and inside the sidecar. Here is the spout that you can clip on the fuel can. You don't need the funnel. You can just dump fuel right into the fuel tank. You get a hand pump. You have the set of owner's manuals. And I love Ural owner's manuals because it goes far beyond like a typical owner's manual. It gets into the maintenance, into everything from the bulb replacement, principles and operations of the fuel injection system. It tells you how to retrieve diagnostic trouble codes without even having the scanner. And you can see all of these procedures right in this manual. And of course, your maintenance charts, lubricant charts, starting procedures, it's all there. So very, very thorough book. With this bike, because it's almost brand new, less than 200 miles, you also get your Ural Sidecar safety training rebate. You can even rate your Ural dealer. You can buy this bike. Pre-owned, and you can fill out the sheet on your dealership experience. I know it will exceed your expectations. And here is your Ural service schedule page that is separate. And you even get an envelope to mail in the dealership review page. So you have all that. And here is the famous, for a good reason, famous toolkit. By weight, it is substantial, and you have a lot of goodies in it. Let's check that out. So you've got some, we have tire irons right here. So you've got these tire irons. You have gloves. And you have a full Ural toolkit with all kinds of wrenches, specialty wrenches, standard wrenches, all metric, everything you need to service your Ural motorcycle. There it is. And your owner's manuals. Let's peek inside the sidecar. Ural sidecars are the most comfortable sidecar environment for a passenger, whether it's your friend, human being, or a pet, because a lot of Ural owners enjoy their motorcycles with their pets. Everything from a little dog, big dog, miniature pig, and we've seen quite a few of pets in these motorcycles, and everybody was very, very happy, starting from the pet itself, the owners, the pet owner, and the people that are observing all this. So here is your control panel. It has a switch for the driving lights. Driving lights were not standard on the Ambassador, so this was an extra. We'll talk about the extras installed on this bike. We also have your fuse panel right here. We have the 12-volt power outlet, and that sits on its own fuse right here. That's another fuse, and you have two more fuses for the additional goodies down the road that you can set up. So we are connecting. These have nice straps right here. So let's talk about the additional accessories that some of them we installed when we sold the bike for the original owner, and some of them were added later on. So it does have, let's see. So we talked about the dual LED lights. Those were add-on, and the lighting on this Ural is quite amazing. You have the fender light, you have the driving lights, and you have your headlamp, which is also upgraded to the Hella H4 lens with the LED bulb. And the fender light is really, really handy because when you're driving, not to mention it produces additional light on the road, but also other drivers view your bike in their rear view mirror and they can see the full width of the motor vehicle. They can see it from the headlamp of the bike to the fender light. So we covered the lighting. It also has a nice and very interesting, I'll show it to you in a moment, handlebar risers. They're adjustable both ways. You can move it up. You can change the height this way, and you can also bring the bar out this way if you wanted to. So it's really, really cool, and you can adjust the height that you choose to elevate your steering bar in relation to the original set point right here. As far as mechanical condition of the bike, as you can imagine, with right now it has 166 miles. So it's not even by mileage due for its first service, and of course we have done extensive checkup and maintenance. So we did a comprehensive inspection. We put a new battery because, again, it's 2016. We did a complete and full service of the bike, which included changing the engine oil and filter, changing the transmission oil, changing the final drive oil, throttle body synchronization, adjusting valve clearance, and adjusting all the brakes. And we retorqued the spokes on the wheels. You can actually see these little marks that technicians will put down to make sure they note how this was done. So this is very important service. This was done. We also did a comprehensive and very, very thorough bike detailing throughout. So it looks really, really nice. And let's get the bike started. We want to make sure it's in neutral. Here's the light. Starts right up, runs nice and quiet. You can hear the even symmetrical pop from the exhaust mufflers. Here's our two-wheel drive lever right here. Here's the lever itself. The 2016 has a nice and very interesting way for the parking brake. Let me show it to you. I'm actually going to have my little flashlight. I have a magnetic flashlight. We're going to put it up here. So you see this lever? To engage the parking brake, all you need to do is just lift this up and latch it in. To take the parking brake off, you just move it to the side and let it go. Here's the two-wheel drive engagement right here. Here is the reverse engagement right there. That's your foot brake, which is connected to the sidecar brake. And between the two, you have hydraulic brakes on the sidecar wheel, as well as the bike, of course. And the bike, we have awesome brakes. We actually have on the bike, we have Brembo brakes. You can see right here, 4-piston Brembo calipers, floating rotor, cross-drilled, of course. And over here, we also have the floating rotor. And for those of you who have not heard that expression, floating rotor is connected to the hub through the bushings like this. And the reason for that is if the brake rotor gets hot and starts to warp a little bit, it does not transmit that vibration onto the bike, and it's especially important for the front wheel. Here's the example of the standard rotor on the rear of the bike. Here it is. And the rear brakes are heavy duty with a massive caliper with integrated parking brake. The engine sounds awesome. And Ural motorcycles, they have amazing suspension. So you can see also known as a Earl's fork or leading link front suspension. Here it is. You can see this is the pivoting point right here. And this is the shock, which is adjustable on both sides. You have 4 or 5 settings. And these suspensions, the bike does not dive. So when you hit your front brakes, you expect the front end to dive in, not on a Ural. No, it stays absolutely parallel to the ground. Here we have the rear shocks. They're fully adjustable. And the same is for the sidecar shock. It is fully adjustable. So you have a total of 5 shocks on one motorcycle, but it's a one nice motorcycle with a sidecar. You can have 3 people on this bike. You can have a lot of fun on this bike. And what would be a better bike to do that in if it isn't the Ambassador? So we have one for you, at least at the time of this video. This bike is available. It's an amazing, close to new condition with minimal signs of wear, just consistent with normal storage. But I cannot even point out to anything specific to show you a scratch or a dent. It doesn't have any of that. And it certainly wouldn't be unfair to say it's like a new bike, because after all, the bike was made in 2016, has been professionally stored and ridden only less than 200 miles. I hope you enjoyed this video, and please subscribe, share, and let us know which videos you like the best by simply clicking the like button.